Time now for Back to the Basics in Healthcare with Balanced Life Chiropractic, and we have Dr. Harley joining us. How you doing, Dr. Harley?
Hey, John. I'm doing great. Surviving the heat wave so far.
Yeah, and we're kind of in that hot part of summer, but before you know it, it's going to be back to school time, and then it's going to get cool, and then we'll have snow. So, you got to be ready for all that. Yeah. But as we talk about going back to school, one of the things that some kids get to deal with is like inner ear infections, and you said there's actually a way that chiropractic can kind of help alleviate some of that as well.
Yeah, we're going to be talking a lot about things that kids deal with, especially as we're getting back to school, to help them with those back to school germs and keeping your kids healthy. So one thing I've been getting a lot of questions about lately is ear infections. My kiddo's got ear infections. They're looking at having tubes in. What should I do? So I tell them, chiropractic can actually really help with those chronic ear infections. Because what's happening is a child's anatomy is like in their ear. We have what's called the eustachian tubes. So they actually are horizontal as when you're a child, but as you grow and become an adult, they actually start to point downwards. So those eustachian tubes are actually what drain our inner ear. So it makes sense for children to have chronic ear infections a lot because those eustachian tubes aren't draining their inner ear. So all that pressure just builds up. Bacteria move in, and we get those ear infections.
And that's a pretty common thing. I know a lot of people had to deal with that.
Yeah, I almost had tubes as a child. I had a lot of ear infections as well. So then obviously, we look at putting the tubes in, and that's going to help reduce pressure in the ear. But what could be happening is the upper neck, we have that C1 and C2, those two top bones. Those nerves, especially the one around C2, go back up into our ears, and they control our ear functions. So, hearing, balance, as well as balancing the pressure inside of our ear. So a lot of times we see kids that have chronic ear infections have a really big misalignment at that C2. So by adjusting that area is going to help reduce pressure in the ear, helping it to actually flow like it's supposed to, all the pressure in there, and that gets rid of the ear infections.
So that would kind of help it drain on its own. And with the pinch on the neck, it'd be like kinking a hose, and then all of a sudden you got issues. Then they got to put in these other tubes. So if you just get everything aligned, you don't have to worry about all of that stuff.
Right. Yeah. The kids don't have to go through surgery because a lot of times the tubes fall out, and then they end up having to have them put back in, or it doesn't fix the problem. So, really with chiropractic, we're trying to help the body heal itself, function like it's supposed to.
Very, very nice. As we get closer to back to school, we'll have some more back to school topics. Now, if somebody has a topic they want to have you talk about, they could probably reach out and say, hey, you should talk about this because this is something my kiddo is dealing with. If they'd like to do that, or if they'd just like to reach out and have you as their chiropractor, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, we'd love any suggestions. It's always sometimes kind of interesting trying to figure out what to talk about each week. But if you have questions and you want to know how chiropractic can help with something, they can shoot us a message on our Facebook page, Balanced Life Chiropractic, or give us a call at 605-215-1785. We'd love to chat and let them know how we can help.
Very, very nice. And you can also find them online. Their website is balancedlifesd.com.